Hey there, thanks for tuning in to Navstar. Today we are reviewing the Avios Bushmule version 2. Came from the same stable as the Sky Mule, but it's just a little bit better. She's got upgraded servo connections, repositioned landing gear, all sorts of little thoughtful upgrades to it, the propellers, and a very nice scale appearance. A great STOL plane, especially coupled with the Turnigy 3300s. All right, here we go with the Maiden. Had a wicked crosswind, and it has been brutally cold here in southeast Texas, so it was great to get out, but it was short-lived due to the wind chill. She just wanted to take off. And apologies for the video quality. I had some issues with my cameras, but it's good enough. No issues whatsoever. Right out of the box, right out of the gate, she was ready to fly. Just some minor tweaks on my rates, and she was ready to roll. I found that the plane handled very well. What was a lot of fun is coming in for those STOL landings. Especially when it's breezy out, you're able to maintain position and perform an awful lot of touch and goes with it. I'm looking forward to, when the weather gets better, getting out here and taking advantage of that cargo hatch so we can drop some parachutes and whatnot, maybe throw a camera in there and get some more footage. But I was freezing to death, so I didn't spend a lot of time out there today. But I have looked forward to reviewing the Bushmule for quite a while, and I know I've been through a lot of the Hobbyking lineup already, but oh, that was a lousy landing. Go around and try it again. but those bomber gears are great. They handled it like a champ. And you know, this particular aircraft, it went together easy. You know, with the Avios line, they're always a top shelf producer for Hobbyking. I want to take a minute and talk about the X14 Turnigy transmitter. I fly with ELRS with Radio Master most of the time, but I was able to get this going very well working with iNav with an iNav widget on there. So I have full telemetry on this aircraft, and that is a lot of fun. It's really, really helpful to have a GPS and to have the telemetry come back to your transmitter. The only thing you need to do is add an ELRS backpack to it and bind it with the rest of your equipment, and you're off to the races. So don't let this Turnigy transmitter fool you. It is fully capable for handling both 4-in-1 and ELRS equipment. So I really like it. It fits well in the hand, and the graphics are fantastic, and the Ethos interface is really cool. So, of course, as you know, with Navstar, we like to do FPV stuff, and in this case, we were able to print out on our 3D printer a cockpit. And pardon the 3D printed glue and the threads coming off the windshield there, but this is a design that comes from Mr. Tom Hunt on Thingiverse. And he very kindly provided the cockpit gauges, so you just simply printed those out on glossy photo paper and glue them behind this panel, and away you go. And actually, what you do is you use the FPV spare cockpit that's provided in the kit. So it's a ready-made scale FPV plane for you, which I found incredibly easy to put together. I'll put some links below to the STL files, so you can go ahead and set yours up like this. But in this particular instance, I just put the Insta360 Go in there just to get a feel for the field of view, and it worked out great. So the next step is going to be to put a servo-mounted VTX unit, probably a DJI 04 Lite, so I can pan and tilt while I'm in there, and maybe do some scale details like a couple of pilots or something like that. So this was kind of a proof of concept, and you know what? I really enjoyed it, and it's nice to be able to just swap them out and go back to the standard one and fly around with that line of sight. So it was a struggle to fly in the gusty crosswind, I will admit that. This was some unstabilized flight footage, but you know, she did handle it like a champ. I noticed I had a couple of tip stalls. I don't know if it's because I had the CG kind of messed up, but I had a couple of hairy moments with it. And I'll be quite honest with you, I also upgraded the gear. The foam gear that comes with it are perfectly fine. They are incredibly light, and I believe that the heavier tires that I put on changed the CG a little bit. So with that in mind, with a subsequent flight, I moved that CG forward a little bit, and that seemed to take care of the problem. So be careful if you're going to put heavy tires on there. You know what they say about tail-heavy planes. They'll fly, but they'll only fly once. So here we go, coming in for a landing. And once I got the hang of it, it was fine. Like I said, I had a few chunky landings out there, but generally speaking, it went really, really well. I also had a hawk following me around most of the time. I don't think he was going to come after me, but they are very curious over here at the field in Southeast Texas. And also, grass landings and takeoffs, like a champ, love it. Those barn door flaps are really, really effective. And, if you are comfortable, you can really do some fun stuff with it. They'll go down to 90 degrees and slow you down to a landing descent, which is awesome if you come in very steep. I'm kind of curious about using the cargo door for additional air braking. I don't know. I'm going to play around with that when I feel a little bit better. But nonetheless, she also comes with skis. And, I'll probably give that a shot here with a close cut of grass. And, here's a landing coming in right into the wind, and, just as pretty as you please there. So she's a 1,500 millimeter wingspan. She's about 1,000 millimeters long. She's 2250 grams. Materials made of EPO. She's got two 35-36 850 kV Aerostar brushless outrunner motors, and you know what? Yeah, all the power you need. So, we ran with a 3300 Turnigy, which is a champ. I got an easy 8 minutes out of it. I probably could have gone 10, but there's something about those 3300 Turnigys that's just killer and really, really worked well. So, when you get this package, she comes together real easy. And I love it. This is a great plane. All around fun, scale flying. Go get yourself one. It's super easy to put together. The directions and the assembly as directed by Avios are second to none. Really top line aircraft for the Hobbyking line. If you're a new guy, you could do it, but I suggest you start on something a little simpler and get yourself some experience before you go out there. And the fly rating, I had a couple of tip stalls. I don't know if it was my problem or not, but I did struggle a little bit learning on it. It wasn't exactly 100% easy, but that might be all me, just to be honest. So this model was kindly provided by Hobbyking. Thank you very much for trusting Navstar. Please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. My opinions are my own, so if you go out there and do this, you may have a different experience, but mine was favorable, and this is a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to having this aircraft around for a while. So let's check into the unboxing. As usual, Avios, second to none in their packaging. I have yet to unpack an Avios aircraft with any damage whatsoever. I love how the servos and the servo arms are already pre-connected on most of the control surfaces, and the way they packaged it was great. So, of course, no blemishes, and just it's amazing how they can get all that stuff in the package. Each of the wings are modular and have reinforced connections, including brass receivers for connecting and disconnecting in the field. You should probably have a pair of forceps with you when you do connect them, because it is kind of fiddly to get those in and out. I've got enough room in the van, the Navstar aircraft carrier, so I don't take the wings off generally. But nonetheless, keep that in mind. Pinch foam connections there, so we always like to run a little smear of hot glue along those, just enough to reinforce them. That has never let me down, but I think you'll be fine without doing it with this plane, but I do it. It makes me feel better. The rudder, same situation, just reinforce it a little bit if you will. Landing gear, probably my only complaint about this. I really didn't like the foam. They're great for it. They're perfect for it. They're designed for it. But if you want to go with something scale, go for it. Just, make sure you get your CG right. Skis. those are kind of cool. I'm looking forward to that. Maybe we'll have a little bit of snow here this winter, and be able to go out there like we did last winter. There was a surprising amount of snow here in southeast Texas. There was the FPV tray, which we converted. Those propellers look familiar. I think I saw those on maybe an Albatross before. I'm not sure. I've seen them around. And the landing gear fairing. And here's a good look at the fuse. Really well made. I didn't see any issues with it whatsoever coming out of the box. What I really like is that cargo door. That's going to be a lot of fun to drop some paratroopers off in there. And this side door, I really liked it because I can install my flight controller in there. And I fly most everything with one. So that was nice to have access to that from the side. It was well thought out. I like the battery tray. There's a nice piece of non-skid in there. And looks like some pretty solid servos. So, they held up real well. All right, here's the parts breakdown. Not much to it. Pretty simple, low part count. Assembly is straightforward, following the manual. Just a couple of screws going in there. Everything fit, nothing stripped. The assembly of the landing gear, again, equally simple. And running the wires in and connecting the wings to the fuselage, no explanation needed. The CG, about 50 to 60 millimeters from the leading edge. So this is going kind of fast, so if you want to slow it down, you can. But you can see you got to tuck those servo leads into the wing halves. Make sure you check your servos completely. I run them 60 times to make sure I don't have any failures. You also want to listen to them too. Make sure there's nothing grinding in there. And I know that Hobbyking's been responsive for any issues that people have with those servos. So definitely do that. You don't want to find out in the air you got a problem. Connecting the push rods to the rudder were pretty straightforward. Standard operating procedure, checking the length. Sometimes you got to take the horn off. Sometimes you can leave it on. It all depends on how easy it is. You can do one side or the other. Again, no explanation needed. Pretty straightforward stuff. In my settings, I can always go in and adjust where the center is on the servo arms. I can do that through iNav. And I want to give a little shout out to my flight controller here. Love those little things. Anyhow, this is how she looks coming together over here at Navstar. Super hot looking plane. Great scale detail. Really like the thought that they put into this. This plane is rugged and it can certainly take some abuse if you want to deal it out to it. But I certainly didn't, and I had a lot of fun with it. Paired with the Turnigy battery and the Turnigy transmitter from Hobbyking Special Edition, awesome. Definitely a plane you want to go out and get. You want to have this one. And look, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you tuning in. Everything you guys do for the channel is much appreciated. God bless.